Welcome everyone to Explore 2020 Day 2. For those of you who didn't attend yesterday, my name is Ashley Sullivan from Cisco Investments, and I'll be your MC for the day. We've got another exciting agenda lined up for you, bringing together leadership from Cisco's investment and acquisition team alongside founders and visionaries from the startup ecosystem. As a quick reminder, I know I mentioned this multiple times yesterday, but if you have any thoughts or comments or questions, make sure to drop those into the chat window. Our team does read them and we'll answer those questions as soon as possible. And with that, I'd like to actually introduce our first keynote of day 2 and the fearless leader of Cisco Investments in corporate development, Derek Idemoto. Derek is a lifelong venture capitalist. For the past 12 years, he's been here at Cisco, where he's spearheaded more than 30 deals totaling over $15 billion, including Duo, OpenDNS, and SourceFire. In his role, he shapes and influences Cisco's technology strategy and our approach to harnessing external innovation from the startup ecosystem. He's also a huge sports geek who loves analyzing player stats. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Derek.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Explore 2020. For those of you who joined us yesterday, welcome back. Some of what you'll hear I touched on yesterday, but I'll also talk about some trends that directly apply to today's themes, apps and data. My name is Derek Idemoto, and I'm honored to be leading Cisco's corporate development and investments team. Before we get started, I want to address what is going on in the US and around the world. We intentionally made the decision to move Explore 2020 because we didn't believe the time was right to host an event in the middle of this current environment. And we wanted to give our employees, customers, and partners the space to have candid conversations and take action against racial inequality. Cisco has always aspired to foster an environment of dignity, respect, fairness, and equality for all, not just for our company, but for the world. So to that end, I want to reiterate our commitment to power an inclusive future for all. Cisco recently donated $5 million to charities dedicated to fighting racism and discrimination. But there's so much more that we can do. And I invite you to join us in solidarity, understanding, and action to support African Americans and all people of color. Our hope is that together we can make progress towards a better, more inclusive world. Now, I've been a corporate acquirer and investor for over 2 decades. And during that time, I've learned one undeniable truth, that the startup ecosystem is the best landscape to see what's coming next. As strategy and technology leaders, so many of us are constantly challenged to figure out how to prepare for what could be on the horizon. Questions like, what's the next disruption? What's the next trend going to look like? What new markets may be emerging? And most importantly, how to get ahead of it all so that we can capitalize on it. I believe the startup ecosystem is the new frontier to discover technology innovation. And so this Explore 2020 event, brought to you by Cisco Investments, is for you, our customers, as an opportunity to find ways to learn from and partner with startups to meet your business needs. Today, you'll derive actionable insights that'll help you better prepare for what's coming down the line. So why are we doing this? Because when you win, we all win. And these days, for sure, in these challenging times, it comes down to helping each other. As you listen to today, through the course of our speakers, I invite you to do a couple of things. First, find the connections that are unique to your business needs. There's a ton of content we're going to cover, but that's really only the tip of the iceberg as far as what our portfolio companies can offer. And I'm hoping that for each of you, there'll be a theme or a trend that really catches your attention and helps you think about what's possible for your business and how we can partner with you even further. And second, think about how we as Cisco Investments might bring even more insights to you, whether it's security or collaboration or multi-cloud networking. We've got a wide-ranging portfolio of companies. We've got the acumen and we've got the expertise to offer a rich view of the industry at large. Cisco has been an active corporate investor for the last 25 plus years. We've invested in hundreds of startups, hundreds more than we've acquired companies. And of those startups, we've acquired many of them to help them scale inside of Cisco at the right time. We're a company that values and embraces technology outside of our walls. There's no not invented here mentality at Cisco for sure, and our track record is a testament to that core value. And that's just simply not going to change. Even in these uncertain times, it's the consistency that keeps us ahead. We've got a consistent approach to invest in the market and continue to nurture innovation, even during the ups and the downs. And we have consistent standards that we put into place for any acquisition or investment. First, the potential for market and technology disruption. Surely, number two, the talent of the team. And third, and perhaps most importantly, certainly these days, the compatibility of the culture. These principles have been in place since Cisco's first investments and acquisitions in the early 1990s, and they are here to stay. We really appreciate all of you taking valuable time to be with us today, especially with all of the challenges that are unique to each one of us in our personal lives. At the very margin for many of us, the margin, we miss simple things like outdoor hobbies or personal passions, and certainly live entertainment. And speaking of live entertainment, I'm actually a huge sports fan, always have been. I greatly miss watch live sports in person due to the pandemic and COVID-19. I miss sports so much that a couple of weeks ago, I found myself tuned into ESPN at 1 a.m. Pacific time here in the Bay Area, watching a professional baseball game being broadcast live from Korea. The announcers and color commentators, they were probably broadcasting live from their homes, I think most likely in New York, in an English language simulcast. The stadium, of course, when the camera panned to it, was completely empty. The umpires had medical masks on, and instead of human fans in the stands, there were actually cardboard cutouts of fans in various cheering positions behind home plate between the two dugouts. Crazy. Fake noise, simulated cheering were pumped into the stadium through the loudspeakers. There were cheerleaders, for sure. They stood on top of each dugout with their backs facing the field, cheering to completely empty stands. And yet I was still riveted to the TV. It helped me realize that night that no matter if there were fans or no fans, spectators or no spectators, it was time for all of us to take the field again, as hard as that may be. At Cisco, we're learning new ways to play this game, to play our game, and we will continue to deepen our engagement within the startup ecosystem, champion our portfolio companies, bolster our technology portfolio to the benefit of our customers. We will consistently apply only the highest standard to every acquisition and investment that we do. We invest in cutting-edge technology companies to gain insight into new markets, but also to offer customers visibility into best-in-class innovations, go-to-market opportunities. Our portfolio is pretty large. We've got 120 companies currently in our portfolio, and we've invested on average $200, $300 million a year the last several years. We also make investments as a limited partner into venture capital funds around the world. These really help us gain valuable insights into the innovation that is happening regionally. Places like Israel, India, Latin America, Canada, the UK, Australia, and China. And what differentiates our team is that we blend this in view as a corporate investor with our M&A expertise. It's all one team. And we further blend that view with how a close partnership with Cisco's sales and engineering can benefit our views, really leveraging the full force of Cisco as a company. Our team of domain experts, they review 1,000 companies each year. No kidding, which keeps us very, very close to the market. We then use these insights to be strategic in our acquisitions. Our portfolio of startups that cover a spectrum of technological areas: networking, data center, IoT, cybersecurity, data analytics, collaboration, 5G, silicon, optics, the list goes on. These companies are based globally, every corner of the world, where we also have many of our team members, which fuels growth both for the region and also for the world at large. I always like to say that the sun truly never sets on Cisco Investments. We understand that our customers now are navigating change at a pace that is truly without precedent. IT is at the very center of every company, but it's really evolved from helping the company run better to helping it ultimately run faster. When we say that we'll reimagine applications, it's because we know that apps are the business. Customers, they need to be able to deploy quickly, fast, deploy them everywhere. And for these applications, you've got to be able to observe every experience and act truly in real time. The data that comes from those apps, those experiences, needs to be secure. And security is truly foundational in today's digital world. Every perimeter, every surface must be protected. And what is the perimeter these days when the lines are blurred between home and work? Infrastructure becoming more software defined, intent driven, powered by context. And then finally, the heart of this all is our people. That's really the competitive advantage for each one of us. Empowering your teams is about providing the ability to collaborate seamlessly across every medium. I highlight this because it's important to show where Cisco chooses to invest. We invest in those pivotal domains that really align to our core and are most impactful and relevant to you, our customers. But we also target adjacent markets that are poised to shape the future. These are horizon type investments. So taking a look that is 1 or 2 degrees removed from where we are currently, it really enables us to see better where the world is really headed. And that takes me into some of the trends we are observing. So today, we were talking about applications and data trends. With the rise of data, developers are fundamentally challenged to create apps that scale beyond the data center, with insights that go well into the cloud. This is really, there's some interesting shifts going on, leading to a couple of key trends that really stand out. Shift left and broad-based observability. Regarding shift left, customers are now looking upstream in the software development cycle to make decisions about how they want to operate software. This is because the traditional model for software development has really completely changed. In the current environment, software development happens in chunks, which creates more opportunities for breakage, from security to operations. Now, companies, we're asking developers to be more thoughtful about implementing pieces of software early in the process. For example, they want software that's much safer, even if it's being updated quickly at the same time. So doing this, you've got to begin at the source, shifting left, right, where the code is actually being made. This puts even greater responsibility in the hands of developers. They are now making operational and security decisions, as well as coding. The result of this shift left is really twofold. There's a rise in developer power. Developers are having an increase in influence on purchasing decisions. And there's now a greater intersection between DevOps, IT ops, and security ops. And that also leads to the second trend that I mentioned, broad-based observability. So a key challenge really in the development of apps is observability. Without a holistic view, it's easier for gaps and silos to readily occur. And given cloud-native software and the layer of abstraction, modern IT stacks, they need to look at the whole picture instead of one piece of the puzzle. And to better address this trend for Cisco, the right approach is to offer a full stack of solutions to help you, the customer, think about the health of an application from the beginning of the development process all the way to the end. A related example of this is our recent announced acquisition of ThousandEyes. Really excited about that, which provides visibility across networks and applications across multi-cloud environments. This also builds on top of our acquisition a few years ago of AppDynamics, which addresses the performance of an application. So from an investment perspective, this is a space that our portfolio companies, some of them are squarely looking at. And you'll hear from some of them, Rookout, Sealights, Secure Code Warrior, in the upcoming panel discussions. Again, I believe the best insight into the frontier of startup technology innovation does come from this ecosystem. Cisco's focus on investing in markets aligned to our core strategy and adjacent markets that are also shaping our future. Our investments provide a lens into external innovation that's happening across the industry. These early insights enable us to see and take action ahead of disruptions and trends. In fact, it's our consistency as a corporate investor that's really helped us adapt and get ahead of changing market dynamics. But we don't want to keep this to ourselves. We want to continually share the learnings we get from our portfolio companies with you, our customers. So, my ask in action for you today. Think about how Cisco Investments, think about how our team can bring more intelligence to you. Please connect with us directly or reach out to your Cisco account managers to set up time. Our portfolio companies would love to meet you. The benefits are abundantly clear. An external lens to innovation, early knowledge of trends, access to the best portfolio companies. So on behalf of the entire Cisco Investments team, thank you for spending time with us today. It's our commitment to open the door to the startup ecosystem so you can explore the new frontier. Have a great and safe day, and thank you once again.